Well, hello, YouTube. It is I, Aaron Freeman, not a scientist, but a sciencey optimist with just a little question here that has been bothering me, vexing me for the last couple of days, which is there any science that non-scientists need to know? Now, I'm not a scientist myself. I'm a sciencey optimist, but I spend a lot of time, I work for the Chicago Council on Science and Communication, attempting to communicate science. But I've asked myself and various people of late, is there any point to this? Does anyone actually need to know? And as I've asked people over the last number of days, the answer has been a pretty much resounding no, there's nothing. I went certainly for the first 40 years of my life and never thought for a moment about the mass of the top quark. I definitely, almost certainly went through the first 50 years of my life and never thought about the Higgs boson, even a little tiny bit. There's nothing we actually need to know. Anything we don't need to, you think, first of all, maybe doctor, medical stuff. You want to know enough science to ask smart questions of your doctor. But you don't actually need to do that, because the truth is, even if your doctor gave you a wonderful explanation, a clear, concise, physical explanation of it all, most of us wouldn't understand it. I certainly wouldn't understand it. I am in the dark about how human bodies work, and human brains don't even get me started. It's like when I go to the mechanic with my car, I don't actually understand how all the computer systems work, and I don't need to. They have diagnostic machines. They plug them in, and it tells you that the back brake light is out, or the fan needs a new blade, or something else. But there's virtually nothing. There's no need to know at all about science in any aspect of our lives. So why do it at all? I guess the real reason to pursue knowledge of science is that it affords more opportunities for wonder. It is amazing and astonishing to think that everything in this room, everything in your room, you, your bodies, your family, all began in the heart of a first generation star. That's just cool to think about. It's cool to think about the nutrients that are being sucked up by the roots of the plants right outside my window here. And that those roots are being sucked up, and all of the energy that we expend and consume ultimately comes from our second generation sun. So that's really cool. And all of the when you start thinking about the weird things in atomic, subatomic physics down in the quantum realm, that's very cool. So there's no real reason that any of us have to learn anything about science. There's just the joy of the thing, the splendid physics of it all, the dynamic and amazing microbiology of it all, the incredible world of cellular biology, just the microtubules and the motor proteins that walk around and carry things back and forth at the smallest levels and at the giantest levels, the time scales of the universe, tens of billions of years. That stuff is amazing and cool, and it can fill you with wonder and make you happier. So that's where I am right now, but I would love to hear from you. How much science do you think anyone actually needs to know? What do you get out of the science that you, in fact, do know now? Does it bring you joy? Do you enjoy watching Cosmos? And if so, why? They say that people like science generally but only really care about the cool stuff. Is that true for you? And if so, is there any aspect of nature that isn't cool? I'm showing my bias right now. But anyway, I would love to continue this little conversation because I am interested in it, because, again, I do spend all of my time, not all of it, but a whole bunch of my time I spend trying to figure out how to communicate physics and neurobiology and genetics, and about which I know very, 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 very little. But those few things I do know, I try to communicate, and I talk to really smart people. But what about you? Do you care? Does it matter what aspects of it that are science are interesting to you? Are there any aspects of science that are useful to you day in, day out? Would love to know. My name is Aaron Freeman, not a scientist, but a sciencey optimist. I post new sciencey optimistic videos every Monday through Friday. The optimistic part, by the way, in this video is that we can learn this stuff, and that there is stuff out there that we can learn that will fill our lives with greater and greater wonder. So this is one of those sciencey optimistic videos I post every Monday through Friday. If you enjoyed this one, please smash that like, subscribe to the YouTube channel, head on over to Facebook and like Excitable Ape. When you hear on YouTube, click on the little bell when you subscribe so that you can be alerted to all the sciencey optimism. I'm Aaron Freeman, not a scientist, but a sciencey optimist, hoping that you have a wonder and awe-filled time as you continue to science the day.